Hello and welcome to this video on modern men around the world. In today's society, men are finally realizing the importance of embracing modern masculinity. For centuries, men were expected to be strong, unemotional, and dominant in both their personal and professional lives. However, this traditional view of masculinity has caused harm to men's mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. In this video, we will explore how men are breaking free from these societal expectations and embracing a more modern, emotionally intelligent, and inclusive form of masculinity. Historical context. To understand modern masculinity, we must first look at the historical context of gender roles. Traditionally, men have been expected to be the breadwinners, protectors, and leaders of their families and communities. These gender roles were reinforced by societal norms, cultural expectations, and religious beliefs. Men who failed to meet these expectations were often seen as weak or less of a man. However, as society evolved, so did the expectations of gender roles. Women began to enter the workforce, and gender equality became an important issue. With this shift, men also began to question their traditional roles and what it means to be a man in the modern world. Men's struggles with traditional masculinity. Men who conform to traditional masculinity face numerous challenges, both personally and socially. The pressure to be strong, dominant, and unemotional can lead to a range of mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Men are often discouraged from seeking help or talking about their emotions, which can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. However, more and more men are breaking free from these traditional roles and embracing a more emotionally intelligent version of masculinity. We can see examples of this in popular cultures, such as the rise of male role models who challenge traditional gender norms, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Terry Crews, and Chris Hemsworth. These men embrace their emotional side, often talking about the importance of mental health, self-care, and emotional well-being. Importance of emotional intelligence. One of the key aspects of modern masculinity is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence is an essential skill for building healthy relationships, managing stress, and achieving success in both personal and professional life. In recent years, emotional intelligence has become a hot topic, with many experts advocating for its importance in both men and women. Men who embrace emotional intelligence are more likely to have better relationships, be more successful in their careers, and have better mental health. There are many ways that men can improve their emotional intelligence. This can include mindfulness practices, therapy, and self-reflection. By embracing emotional intelligence, men can break free from the constraints of traditional masculinity and live happier, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. Different approaches to modern masculinity around the world. While modern masculinity is a global phenomenon, there are many different approaches to masculinity around the world. Different cultures have different expectations of what it means to be a man, and these expectations can vary significantly. For example, in Japan, the concept of masculinity is often associated with honor, strength, and loyalty. Men are expected to be the primary breadwinners and protectors of their families. However, there is also an increasing recognition of the importance of emotional intelligence in modern Japanese society, with many men embracing practices such as mindfulness and meditation. In South America, there is a strong emphasis on machismo, which is characterized by dominance, aggression, and sexual prowess. However, there is also a growing movement towards a more inclusive form of masculinity, with many men embracing emotional vulnerability and rejecting toxic masculinity. In Scandinavia, there is a strong emphasis on gender equality and breaking free from traditional gender roles. Men in Scandinavia are encouraged to be emotionally intelligent, egalitarian, and respectful of women. The Scandinavian countries consistently rank highly in global gender equality rankings, and this is reflected in the attitudes and behaviors of their male population. It is important to note that while modern masculinity is a global phenomenon, there is still a long way to go in terms of achieving gender equality and breaking free from toxic gender roles. Men in many parts of the world still face significant pressure to conform to traditional gender roles, and the negative effects of toxic masculinity are still being felt. In conclusion, modern masculinity is an evolving concept that is gaining momentum around the world. Men are realizing the negative effects of toxic masculinity and are embracing a more emotionally intelligent and inclusive form of masculinity. This is a positive trend that has the potential to improve the lives of men, women, and society as a whole. However, there is still much work to be done. Men in many parts of the world still face significant pressure to conform to traditional gender roles, and the negative effects of toxic masculinity are still being felt. we must continue to advocate for gender equality and encourage men to embrace emotional intelligence, vulnerability, and inclusivity. Thank you for watching this video on modern men around the world. We hope that you found it informative and inspiring. Let us know your thoughts and experiences with modern masculinity in the comments below.